Hey guys, I wish I was coming to you with better circumstances, but I really don't like making these type of videos. I know it's probably going to have a little bit of a clickbaity title, but that's just YouTube. But essentially, I came back from vacation, and something wrong with Asus's tail, so let's take a look at it, guys. I have him in a separate enclosure, and we'll kind of see what happens. Hey guys, how's it going? You know, it's the beginning of a new year. I'll be completely bald. Yellow Ackie, Reptile. Alright, so I have Asus in a 40-gallon right now with just this paper towel and a couple items just to help bask, hide, safety, stuff like that, water, just to get him off substrate because I don't know if there's a risk for infection or anything. He's in his hide right now. I'm actually just about to go to the vet. There's Asus right there. The good news is that Asus is doing extremely well otherwise. Fantastic eating, just all that jazz. So that's the good stuff. It's really hard in the back. It looks completely dead. There's no kind of control Asus has over it. You can see right at the end there, it's kind of mangled. There's a little bit of mangling there, and right here, it's just completely dead. It's really hard right here. It's usually a little fleshy, you know, if you have an Ackie, there's a little bit of fleshiness, softness to the tail, even though it's mostly hard. But when you get right to here, it's just completely dead. I mean, you could just wiggle it like that, which you shouldn't be able to do, and it's just really hard. It's just really dead to me. And like I said, I'm about to go take him to the vet. This is the day after I discovered it, and I'm going to have to drive a couple hours and take him there after hours. That was the only appointment I could really get. So I believe this is going to be needed to be snipped, or it's not going to survive. I don't believe it will. Anyway, guys, this whole video is going to be the saga of what happens here, because I'm going to go take him to the vet. I'll give you updates on that and just see how it goes. Like I said, though, luckily he's totally fine. Even without part of that tail, he's going to be okay. So, doing fine otherwise. Everything he normally does, it's just stinks for that tail, and I'm really pissed off. Alrighty, hey guys, I drove over to the exotic vet. I talked to him about what's going on with Asus, and yes, part of his tail is going to have to be removed. Right now, I'm just getting some antibiotics that I'm going to have to inject in the arm. It really stinks. I know I said that, but it really does. I'm just kind of really pissed. I talked to him a little bit about what I thought happened. I feel like possibly the service I hired could have injured Asus while they were taking care of him. Maybe didn't even notice, dropped something on the tail, because I don't feel like it would have, it didn't look like something nipped at it or went at it. I feel like I found it, you know, because Dell was nipping at it, but I feel like she was nipping at it because it was already mangled up and there was exposed skin, and I was feeding during that time. So I don't know. I'm gonna ask one more time before I leave. We're doing curbside pickup. That's how they do things. So I'm still out of my car while Asus is inside. But I'm gonna ask real quick before I leave, and if I get a, one way or the other, which he's leaning could have happened, I'll let you guys know. But hey guys, it's been a little under a week since Asus's passing. Thought we could just take a look at Dell and see how she's doing first before we kind of talk about it. She's right there. Sneak preview of the reptile room, by the way. So she's doing good. I precautionarily, I think that's a word, out of precaution, I took her to the vet to get some more blood work done. She had blood work done initially when this whole thing with Asus, I guess we could open this up, this whole thing with Asus started, and it was completely normal then, but I did it again just in case. I wanted to make sure it wasn't something that she could get herself and then, something happened with her. But blood work's totally fine. She did have a little bit, I think it was blood sugar level or something I was a little high, but guess what? There's a good reason behind that. She was gravid. By was, I mean that she laid them. So we'll take a quick look at that at the end of the video. And the one good thing that came out of this is that there's a little bit of Asus left. He left us a little bit of a present before, his unfortunate passing. I didn't post a lot on socials much last week, just because of Asus. It was pretty hard on me. Asus was one of my first Ackies, along with this one here, this silly girl who's trying to get out right now. But yeah, when I took Asus in, well, it all started because I took Asus in to get in the necropsy. Wanted to see what the issue was. You know, it was kind of out of left field. He was actually at the vet on the Thursday before he passed, which was like 3-4 days before, and he was totally fine. He's been totally normal, and that's one of the scary things about reptiles and sicknesses. Well, I'm trying to get this gate here, is that they could be totally normal, and then, you know, stuff happens. But took Dell in with me to get that second drawing of blood to make sure she was okay. Like I said, she was okay. At the time, we didn't get the results, though. What actually indicated that she was gravid is that I got an x-ray too, and the vet saw 11 eggs in there. She laid 14, but he only could see 11. So there's grasshopper right there. A lot of bugs, frogs, amphibians and stuff back here, guys. Pretty cool. Okay, guys, so let's sit down, talk about Asus a little bit. So good thing is, and I don't really say good thing because I take things really hard on myself, you know. Like I did a video in the past on mental health issues that I have and how reptiles help them, and one of my side effects, I guess, from some of those issues is I take things pretty hard and I put it on myself quite a lot, even if, let's say, it's a scenario where it was unavoidable. Now, you really can't say 100% either way. You know, we don't have all the answers. There's no way to get all the answers to stuff like this. But what we do know is that Asus from the necropsy had messed up kidneys, and it wasn't due to gout. There was no signs of gout in the limbs or anything like that. It seems like the kidneys were just crap luck on them and how they developed, and just one of those scenarios. Now, you know, I feel like maybe there's something I could have done. Maybe I could have did better somehow, or maybe there's something I did that led to those kidneys not being well formed. I don't know. I've had Asus since he was just a little boy, little lizard. I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe I did something. But Dell's healthy. All my other Ackies are healthy. So let's kind of start at the beginning. Late July, I came back, and this is what you saw in the beginning. Asus's tail was messed up, so I immediately brought him in to one of my vets in Virginia who, like I said, knows quite a lot, and he did some blood work on him. That's when we got Dell's blood work done the first time, and that was normal. The blood work on Asus, though, came back with an extremely high uric acid level. That has a lot to do with the kidneys. That's their urates, and he's really just wasn't getting enough moisture, enough liquids, and that's why his tail probably went at the end there. It just wasn't getting blood flow. That's one of the, you know, them and the fingers. That's really where my voice just totally cut out on me there. That's where blood flow is cut off first, you know. That's why there's a lot of problems with tail rot and stuff like that. So this uric acid level was like a 20. That's extremely high if you know anything about uric acid levels. So we got him immediately on medication. He was on like 4 different ones. The main one, I believe, was like allopurin or something. I'm terrible with medicine names, even my own. So I believe it was like ALLO something. Then we also put him on fluids. I had to give him fluids. I had to give him an antibiotic. And then there was one other one that I don't remember off the top of my head. 2 of them were injections and 2 of them were oral. I did my best with them. Obviously, like most reptiles, it's not really easy giving medicine. The injections, while still somewhat problematic because Asus was very wiggly, you know, Ackies like to continually be moving. The injections were the easiest part. The oral medication is always just a pain in the butt, especially for adult Ackies. Baby Ackies, you can kind of get in there and make them open up, but adults, they're just another whole handful. So, got him on that medication. 2 weeks later, brought him in to get the tail off. The tail is fine. The tail healed up completely fine overall. The sutures were out before Asus passed. The tail was not the problem there. So about a month after we after starting medicine, we did another round of blood work, and it came back really good. It was back in a normal range. I was happy. If it wasn't back in a normal range, that would have been quite concerning, and we really would have had to go into kind of drastic measures type mode. So I was happy. I thought things were getting better. That means the kidneys were able to kind of be repaired, and it wasn't too far along. So we went ahead, we did a little bit more of the medication after that meeting, but pretty much rounded it out. I stuck to it pretty good. I was pretty on top of that. Sometimes, you know, life can get in the way, but I was really kind of worried about Asus at that point because I went on vacation, came back, and his tail was just like totally dead, so that kind of scared the poop out of me. Then went along, did the move to Jersey. I took him in to get the sutures removed, and when I got the sutures removed, I did another round of blood work because the vet in Virginia recommended doing that just to see if it would go back up. And, you know, overall, it's a good idea to see off medication if it was staying down. So then on, I think it was Sunday or Monday sometime, that's when Asus passed. And I got a voicemail on Tuesday, I believe, from the vet who did the blood work, and it was back to a 12, which is not as high as a 20, definitely not, but still above, definitely significantly, I wouldn't say significant, it was above what it should be. I believe at max it should be like a 9 or something if I'm remembering correctly. So it was high again, and you know, that's led to the kidneys and the necropsy, connected it all there. So it really just seems like it was just, I don't know, overall bad luck, but I just can't help but think that maybe there was something somewhere, I don't know, I missed. But vet insists there's nothing really noticeable husbandry-wise. He really was a fan of my described husbandry for Ackies, so I was happy about that. And overall, just kind of is a mystery. The real only thing that convinces me that there was nothing more I could have done is Dell. Dell, being that they lived together pretty much 90% of the year and only separated after they made and she's getting in lay mode, that makes me think that it wasn't husbandry related, because Dell, being in that same environment all the time, like I just said, had totally normal levels of everything that Asus had problems with. And she was completely healthy and completely fine. So I can't imagine, you know, I mean, all my other Ackies are doing wonderful, but let's just condense it to, let's say, you know, this enclosure had, you know, no two enclosures are the same in their husbandry, even for the same species, you get what I mean? So even looking at more direct, I hope I'm making sense here, it just, you know, if it was something husbandry related, Dell would have had some issues too. Ultimately, I'm having trouble kind of getting words out, but I believe you guys get what I'm saying. Anyway, guys, let's go take a quick look at the eggs that Asus left behind as a little farewell present. Obviously, giving kudos and credit to Dell because she did a lot of hard work there. Let's go in there. Let me in. Let me in.
My nails are done.
Olivia! Oh, it's open. Olivia suggested, what would you suggest we should do for Asus?
Oh, I found this artist that like does like pet commissions, but she's like really good at doing like reptiles. So I thought that we would get like Asus painted, and like then we could do like a little funeral with the little painting.
Okay, well, maybe we don't do the little funeral because I already was upset enough. I don't need to be upset
We gotta
again.
celebrate Asus's life.
Okay, well, Asus is gonna get buried under a beautiful flower or tree, so the tree, I don't want to be like, I think what's nice when you die is to use what's left of you to like help
Create more life.
So that's what we're gonna do with Asus. We're gonna bury him in a garden, and then those plants will be able to get more life because of Asus. So
Asus plants.
we'll name them the Asus plants. Okay, so you guys are gonna see a brief preview of my new residence. I might show it off a little bit more when we do a reptile house tour, which I gotta do. But let's go into my dark office right now, turn the light on, and let's just take a look at the eggs before we wrap this video up. So I got both my incubators in here. Remember, guys, I got one of these sea serpent incubators. I got the big one down here, and they accidentally sent me this one first, so I got to keep both, which is awesome. Anyway, there we go. There they're at, the new ones. And of course, down here we have the eggs from the last couple clutches. We have 5 from the Hendrick pair, and 3 that made it from the yellow pair. These are the ones that I got in Virginia and tried to put through a move. I had a lot more than this, but these are the ones that made it through. These guys will be hatching any week now. Probably the first week of October is what I'm anticipating. So let's open it up. By the way, keep an eye on social media if you're interested in one of those Ackie eggs. I'll probably bring it up when they hatch and then start putting orders through. But these are the last Asus Dell eggs. Those 3 in there, these 14 in here. We'll see. All these look pretty good. There's 13 in here. There is 13 plus 1 dud. So hopefully all 13 of these make it, but no promises. So let me take the lid off. Okay, and there we go. That's all 13 of those eggs. Looking really good, really healthy. They're a lot longer than a typical Dell egg. That makes sense. Dell usually, well, it's a tendency for Ackies is to have thinner, kind of longer, more ovalish eggs. But I got a lot of round ones from Dell over her last 3 clutches or so. And these were actually a little bit more skinny than the ones in the past. Interesting note, not sure why, but something I observed. But that's it, guys. That's kind of what happened. I really miss Asus, and I had, quite a few cries because of him just passing, and it sucks, but just part of owning reptiles. And I'll just put that passion I had towards Asus towards all my reptiles moving forward, and obviously never forget them. Miss you, buddy.